My child, can you feel it? Something deep in your spirit has been trying to tell you this since last night. A restless tug in your chest, a whisper that refused to let you rest. That wasn't your imagination, it was heaven knocking softly at first, but now it comes with urgency. Archangel Michael says, this is your final chance to hear what was never meant for your ears. A secret deal has been struck behind your back, tied to your future. This isn't just betrayal, it's deeper, it's spiritual, dangerous, and it touches someone you love above all. God is not angry with you, but with your daughter. Heaven has held back a decision for 3 days, waiting for this moment, hoping you would open your heart. Archangel Michael says, your name has been spoken 3 times in a private heavenly council. Yes, your name. They have waited, but now there is no more time. If you turn away, you might abandon the miracle already set aside for you, the one that could now be handed to another soul. You think this is coincidence. Heaven does not deal in accidents, it arranges divine timing. Right now angels are watching, waiting to see if you scroll away, or if your spirit will rise to listen. Because what was whispered in secret must now be declared in divine urgency. Archangel Michael was not meant to speak of this, but he pleaded with God on your behalf. And God said, if they open this today, I will reveal everything. If they skip it, the punishment will begin. This is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to rescue you. A dark exchange has taken place. Someone has sought to trade your peace for their gain. The choice was made by someone you once trusted, and yes, it involves your daughter. God is deeply hurt, not to condemn her, but to prepare you. Because what is coming will shake your home, and test your very soul. Michael says, you were never meant to learn this in this way, but heaven grows weary of being ignored. My beloved, before I continue, pause, listen. If your heart is pounding faster, if your chest feels heavy, if tears come without reason, this is confirmation. Do not put this aside thinking you'll return later, later will not come. Heaven planned for you to hear this now, not a second after. And now a request, glowing star, if you know this message is for you, type I am ready Michael. This is your spiritual signature, your signal to heaven that you are awake. Yes, subscribe not for vanity, but so you do not miss the next word heaven has for you. You are chosen, and this is only the beginning. Right, I believe, and you cannot imagine the shift it will cause in the unseen realm. Now breathe. What I am about to tell you will shake you. 6 days ago a woman tied to your daughter entered a spiritual contract without your consent. It was made in bitterness and your name was in it. She spoke of your house, targeted your peace, smiling all the while. She thought heaven didn't see, but Archangel Michael was watching and his sword burned with fury. This woman is no stranger, she has been close for years. You trusted her, your daughter confided in her. But heaven records every whisper, every message, every thought. God's anger is not without cause, your daughter is under the influence of darkness disguised as protection. She believes she is guarding you, but in truth she is aiding in the destruction of something sacred. Michael says, if you do not uncover the truth by tonight, the damage may be irreversible. The window will close, and the miracle God planned will slip into delay or be given to another. This is not because God is cruel, but because heaven cannot bless what you refuse to see. I know this is hard, you would rather believe all is well. But heaven says truth will no longer knock politely, it will enter whether you are ready or not. Your daughter is being watched by two forces, one to keep her safe, one to sacrifice her spiritually. You cannot wait to see the outcome, you must act, and action begins with knowing. There is something hidden in your home, not an object or paper, but an energy. A shadow of an agreement made in secret, waiting for its moment to bring destruction. The most painful part, your daughter knows enough to feel something is wrong, enough to hear the still voice warning her, but she is silencing it, and in doing so, she is silencing God. Michael says, the woman behind this has long been jealous of your family. She has hugged you, called your daughter a sister, smiled warmly, but her heart was filled with thorns. Behind your back, she made a shocking exchange involving your name, a calculated swap. This wasn't a single act, it was years in the making. She waited for the moment when your guard was down, when trust was high, to insert herself between you and your daughter's loyalty. What she didn't know is that heaven has been documenting every detail, and now the record is ready to be revealed. But heaven will only open it fully, if your heart is ready to receive it without turning away. Because once you see, you cannot unsee. Beloved, Michael says, the moment you choose to believe, is the moment heaven is free to act. This is that moment. The forces moving against you think you will dismiss this warning, think you will chalk it up to fear or imagination. But the angels are waiting for your yes. The man I told you about, he's been moving in shadows for years, weaving his influence quietly into places where trust lives. He doesn't come with open hostility, he comes with calm words, measured gestures, and a false sense of wisdom. People lower their guard around him, because he carries the air of someone who has seen it all, but what they don't realize is that he's seen it all because he's caused it. His strength is manipulation wrapped in charm, and his favorite battlefield is the family unit. This man has studied you longer than you think. He noticed the cracks that come with exhaustion, the moments when you wanted peace more than confrontation, and he has used those moments as open doors. The woman who made the deal, brought your daughter closer to him, under the disguise of seeking guidance or help, but in truth it was an introduction into his web. He recognized immediately the spiritual anointing flowing through your bloodline, a gift that has threatened forces of darkness for generations, and he knew that if he could not destroy it, he could at least delay it until the blessing was out of reach. Archangel Michael says, this is not random, beloved. They are coordinated. Their plan has been rehearsed. And the reason it feels so intense now, is because the finish line for your blessing is in sight. The closer you get to the miracle, the more frantic the attacks become. If nothing good was coming, they would not waste this much effort. God says, the past few weeks have been a warning disguised as discomfort, the heaviness in your chest, the sudden emotional dips, the friction in simple conversations. These were not accidents. Your spirit has been reading the shifts in the unseen realm, even while your mind tried to explain them away. Every silent glance, every quick subject change when you walked into a room, every moment you caught your daughter looking unsettled, these were signs. Michael says, you are not imagining this. You have been spiritually awake, even when you thought you were numb. But now the moment comes for choice, to act, to stand, to speak. He is urging you to take your authority back, because the deal, no matter how dark, can only be broken by the one whose name was written into it. And that is you. The man has been whispering into the woman's ear, telling her that removing your blessing will secure hers. He promises power, stability, and opportunity, but these promises are hollow. They are nothing but bait. And your daughter, caught in the middle, is hearing conflicting voices, yours, heaven's, theirs. She is torn, but her silence is allowing the enemy's work to continue unchecked. Heaven says, you must be the one to call light into the shadows. Not with shouting, but with truth spoken clearly, with faith unshaken. Michael urges you, don't let your silence be mistaken for surrender. Speak in prayer, speak in declaration, speak in the authority given to you. Because the spiritual chains around this situation are not unbreakable, but they are waiting for your command. 3 days from now the moment will present itself. It may come in the form of a gathering, an unexpected visit, or even a casual meeting that feels oddly timed. Someone will be too polite, almost rehearsed. Watch closely for the woman's eyes, she will study you, as though searching for signs that you know what she's done. In that moment, remember these words, do not react. Stay still in spirit. Let heaven speak through your calm, because silence under God's direction is louder than any accusation. Your daughter will feel the shift. She will see in your composure that something has changed, that you are no longer blind. That moment is a crack in the wall the enemy has built, and heaven will rush in through it. But only if you stand firm now. Beloved, I want you to breathe deeply for 3 seconds, and say, Michael, I give you permission to reveal everything, I am ready to see, I am ready to know. As you say it, you may feel a warmth, a tingle, or even an ache in your chest. This is your spirit aligning with the truth. And now Michael says, prepare yourself, because what is coming is both the answer to your prayers, and the test of your faith. You will begin to notice subtle confirmations, words in conversation that match what you've read here, dreams that feel more vivid, a sudden sense of clarity when you are around certain people. Do not dismiss these moments, they are heaven's way of guiding you to the exact point of breakthrough. The man and the woman believe they have covered every trace of their plot. They think the deal they made is sealed in secrecy. But heaven has already documented every detail, and as you read this, the scroll is being brought to the forefront in the spiritual realm. Your willingness to receive this message is unlocking its contents. Michael says, the next days are critical. Protect your atmosphere, the music you hear, the conversations you entertain, the people you allow near your personal space. These things will either strengthen your discernment, or weaken it. The enemy's tactic will be to overwhelm you with distraction, so you cannot focus on the quiet voice of God. Resist it, keep your spiritual ears tuned. Your daughter's breakthrough will depend on your clarity. When the time comes and she realizes the truth, she will need to see you steady and ready, not bitter or vengeful. God's goal is not just to protect you, but to heal her and restore what has been attacked. So beloved, stay alert. The man I told you about will try one last time to present himself as an ally. He will smile, speak kindly, perhaps even offer help. But watch his eyes, they will betray the truth. And when you see it, remember that heaven saw it long before you did, and has already made a way for your victory. And the answer is simple, because you were the only one in the room of your life who would not turn away. Heaven knew you would still be standing when others gave up. God saw that even with your own wounds, you would still shield the ones you love. That's why you were chosen to receive this warning and this assignment. You are not here by accident, you are here because the divine realm trusts you to hold the line. Michael says, "Beloved, heaven does not waste messages." If this has reached you, it is because your presence is the key to breaking what was set in motion. The enemy targeted your daughter because they could not get to you directly. They tried to weaken you, by isolating her from your covering, by making her believe that your presence was a limitation instead of her greatest protection. But heaven says today the veil comes off. The lie will no longer stand unchallenged. 2 weeks ago may have been the night they spoke those words, but what they didn't know is that your prayers from years before still echo in the Spirit. Every blessing you declared over your daughter still lives. Those blessings are standing like soldiers, waiting for your command to advance. The moment you chose to speak those words, "I cancel every deal made in my name," those soldiers began to march. That is why you felt the shift in your body. That was heaven responding to your voice. Now listen carefully, Michael says, in the coming days subtle signs will appear. A certain conversation will stop when you enter the room. An unexpected message will come through with words that feel oddly specific. You may even hear your name spoken softly when no one is near. Do not fear, these are not to scare you. These are confirmations that the spiritual realm is aligning to expose what has been hidden. God says, do not meet this battle with panic, meet it with clarity. The woman and the man will sense something is changing. They will test your boundaries one last time. The woman may try to bring you a gift, a gesture meant to appear kind but carrying energy meant to reopen the door you have just closed. If this happens, do not accept it into your home. You can bless her without taking what she offers. Your no will be a spiritual wall she cannot climb. Michael says, that on the third day, when that strange opportunity is presented to your daughter, the atmosphere will feel tense, even if no one speaks of it. She may look at you with uncertainty. This is your moment to stand in truth without fear. Heaven will place words in your mouth, they will not be rehearsed, but they will strike like light into the shadows. She will feel it in her heart before her mind can catch up, and the seed of truth will be planted. Do not underestimate what will happen in that moment. You may not see her change instantly, but the grip that has been on her spirit will weaken. She may cry, she may retreat for a short time to think. Let her process. The important thing is that the spiritual hold will begin to crumble. Beloved, there is one more thing Michael wants you to know. The man has done this before, not once but many times to different families, each time taking something sacred from them, under the cover of help or healing. But never has he met resistance at this level. Your awakening has already disrupted his pattern. Heaven is moving to not only protect your home, but to make sure this chain of harm is broken for others as well. You may be asking, what do I do now? The answer is to keep your spiritual space guarded. Pray over your doors, over your daughter's name, over every corner of your home. Speak out loud what you choose to allow and what you reject. The unseen world hears you, and your authority matters. When you speak, angels are assigned. In the days ahead there may be dreams, some will be vivid and feel more like visions. Do not dismiss them. Write them down. They are messages meant to guide you, to give you insight into the strategies being used against you, and the victories already being won for you. If you wake in the night, speak gratitude. Gratitude disarms fear and signals to heaven that you are ready for more. God says, your voice is the gate. What you permit will enter. What you reject will flee. This is why you must stay aware. Distraction will be their final attempt, sudden demands, unnecessary conflict, or even unexpected kindness meant to lower your guard. Keep your discernment active. And remember this, your daughter is not your enemy. She is under influence, yes, but heaven's goal is restoration, not division. The anger of God is directed at the deception, not at her. When the moment comes for her to see clearly, she will need to know that you never stopped loving her. That is what will draw her back faster than anything else. Michael says, the breakthrough will not come with loud noise or public display. It will come quietly, like dawn breaking after the longest night. And when it does, you will feel the atmosphere of your home change, the heaviness lifting, the constant tension melting away. You will notice laughter returning, lightness in conversations, and the peace that had been tested will be restored stronger than before. Beloved, you were chosen for this, because you have already proven to heaven that you will not give up when the battle is fierce. And now the final steps are before you. Stand in your truth, hold your peace, watch heaven move. When she returns, beloved, she will not be the same. The confusion will lift, like morning fog burned away by the sun. Her eyes will look at you differently, not with the guardedness she has carried, but with the openness of a child who finally feels safe again. You will see it, that softness in her expression, that unspoken recognition that you were never against her, you were always for her. Michael says, this return will not happen in chaos, but in divine timing, like the tide coming in without resistance. But before that tide fully reaches the shore, there will be a moment of testing. The woman and the man tied to that deal will sense the shift, and they will try one last time to tighten their grip. They may reach out to her, not with kindness, but with manipulation disguised as care. Michael wants you to remember this, their words will be coated in honey, but filled with venom. Do not fear this, it is simply the enemy's last desperate move before losing. And when they make this move, heaven will already have positioned your words in her heart, like a seed ready to bloom. Archangel Michael says, the enemy is losing access to her mind, but you must help by speaking life over her daily. Even when you are alone, speak it. Even when you don't see change, declare it. The spiritual realm hears every declaration, and your daughter's angel will take those words and plant them in her spirit. Think of your words like light breaking through cracks in a dark room. The more you speak, the wider those cracks will grow, until the darkness has nowhere left to hide. Michael also shows me that your daughter will have a dream in the coming nights. She may not tell you about it, but it will be vivid, a dream where she is walking down a narrow path with shadows on either side calling her name. In the dream she will feel torn, unsure, until a voice calls from ahead, your voice. It will not be a loud shout, but a steady clear sound. She will follow it, and though she may wake feeling unsettled, something inside her will have shifted. This is the beginning of her spirit remembering where home truly is. Now, beloved, Michael wants to turn your attention to something important, your own heart. For too long you've carried the weight of this battle alone, feeling that you must be strong at all times. But strength does not mean never feeling tired. Heaven sees the nights you've sat awake, staring into the dark, wondering if your prayers were making any difference. Michael says, every one of those prayers has been stored, none of them lost. And now those prayers are like arrows, waiting to be released, at the exact moment the enemy's guard is down. That moment is coming. There is also something about your home. Michael is still moving through it, removing not just the spiritual residue of that deal, but also anything that carries the memory of pain. He may lead you to rearrange something, throw something away, or open a window for fresh air. These are not random urges, they are physical actions that mirror what is happening in the spiritual. The more you align with this cleansing, the faster the shift will come. Your daughter's angel is now standing closer, more present, almost impatient to begin guiding her again. But Michael says, the angel's voice will sound like your encouragement, your gentle truth. That's why you must keep speaking, even if she rolls her eyes or turns away. Her spirit is listening, even if her ears pretend not to. Michael also reveals a scene from the future, you and your daughter sitting together, perhaps at a table or on a couch. There will be a cup in her hand, maybe tea or coffee, and she will begin to speak words you have been waiting years to hear. They may start small, like I didn't know, or I see it now, but those words will carry more weight than any apology. They will be the sound of chains breaking. Before that day comes there will be a sign. It will be something ordinary to others, but unmistakable to you, perhaps a song, a phrase, or even a sudden memory she shares, that you know she couldn't have remembered without heaven's prompting. When you see this sign, know that Michael is already standing behind her, clearing the path for her full return. Beloved, do not underestimate the role you play. You are not just a parent in this story, you are the spiritual anchor, the one holding the line while the storm rages. The enemy has tried to convince you that your voice is small, that your prayers are delayed, that your love has gone unnoticed. But Michael says, heaven has been building a case in your favor, and the verdict is about to be announced. You will see justice, not in the form of revenge, but in restoration, a restoration so complete that the pain you feel now will seem like a shadow, compared to the light that will fill your home. Michael is also reminding you to prepare your heart for forgiveness. This does not mean forgetting or excusing what was done, but releasing it so that nothing hinders the blessing coming your way. Forgiveness is not a gift to the ones who wronged you, it is a key that unlocks the next chapter for you and your daughter. The woman and the man who made the deal will face their own unraveling. You do not need to be present for it, nor should you involve yourself. Their downfall will not come from your hands, but from the very forces they tried to manipulate. Heaven is already handling them, and your energy is needed for your daughter's return, not their destruction. Michael's last instruction in this moment is this. In the next 3 days, set aside time to be still. Even if it's just for a few minutes, sit in quiet and let your heart listen. You may feel warmth, you may see an image in your mind, or you may simply feel peace. That will be Michael confirming that the shift has begun. And when the call or message from your daughter comes, you will already be prepared, not with panic, but with presence. This is the turning point, beloved. Everything that was taken is now in the process of being returned. Every tear you've cried has watered the ground for this harvest. And when you see her walking back into the light, you will know that heaven kept its promise all along. Beloved, the scroll that bears your name is older than the battles you have fought, and wiser than the voices that tried to define you. In it are moments that have not yet happened, victories already recorded as if they are memories. Michael says, heaven has been waiting for the appointed time to open this scroll before you, and now the seal is breaking. The words inside are not just promises, they are instructions for your rise. You are to walk forward now, as if nothing can be taken from you, because nothing in your destiny belongs to anyone else. Your joy, your health, your home, your daughter, your abundance, these are written in ink that cannot fade. Heaven shows me that in the coming weeks, you will be faced with a moment, where the old version of you would have stayed silent, would have shrunk back. But this time you will speak, and when you do, the air will change. People will listen differently, situations will bend, and doors will open. This is because the authority in your voice is not from man, but from the one who sent you. You are stepping into a season where your words will carry the weight of truth that dismantles lies instantly. Michael says, when they try to mislead, your presence alone will make deception impossible. And beloved, there is a financial shift coming, that you must prepare for, not just with expectation, but with structure. This is not just about a sudden deposit, it is about sustained overflow. Ideas that once felt too big will now feel urgent, strategies you dismissed will now make perfect sense. The connections you thought were lost will reappear with renewed purpose. And as the flow begins, you must remember this is not just provision, it is positioning. Heaven is placing you in a seat, where influence and generosity meet, because what's coming through you is meant to bless more than your own household. Your daughter's return will mark the turning point, but it will not be the end of the story. Her restoration will ripple into others, friends she will speak to, people who saw her drift and will now see her transformation. She will carry a testimony that breaks chains for others still trapped. You will watch her step into her calling, with a strength you always knew she had, and every tear you shed in the quiet will feel repaid 1,000 times over. But there is still a shadow to address. The woman who tried to weave herself into your family's destiny, is reaching the moment where heaven will decide her path. If she turns back now, mercy will meet her. If she continues, she will disappear from your story entirely, not in drama, but in divine removal. Michael says, you are not to interfere, not to warn her, not to speak her name aloud anymore. That chapter is already closing. As for the man, the unraveling has begun. He will not see it coming, but a single careless moment will cause truth to spill in every direction. The image he worked to protect will fracture, and others will begin to speak where they were once silent. You will not have to fight for vindication, heaven will hand it to you. Beloved, the next 7 days are a sacred countdown. You will see signs that feel too precise to be coincidence. Pay attention to the smallest details, a feather where it should not be, a stranger saying words you have prayed in secret, a sudden scent that reminds you of a safe place from long ago. These are not random, they are heaven's way of saying, we are here, we are moving, and we are closer than you think. Write them down. This is your evidence for the days when doubt tries to return. There will also be a dream, clear, vivid, unforgettable. It may come in the early hours, it may come in the middle of your rest, but it will carry a message you will feel in your bones. It will not need interpretation, you will know exactly what it means. And if you are tempted to dismiss it, something in your day will confirm it almost immediately. This dream will be a marker in your timeline, the moment heaven placed its final signature on this chapter, before opening the next. Michael says, prepare your home for joy, like you would for a long-awaited guest. Play the music that once filled your rooms, cook a meal that makes the house smell like comfort, open the windows to let light in, place something new at your table, even if it's just a single candle or a fresh cloth, to symbolize the newness that's coming. This is not superstition, it is alignment. It is showing heaven that you are not just asking, you are ready. And as you prepare, speak differently over yourself. No more language of loss. No more if when you talk about your future. Replace it with when and because. When my daughter returns, when my finances shift, when my peace settles. Because heaven has already decided. Your atmosphere responds to your words, and the more you speak victory, the faster it gathers around you. You will notice in this time, that people you haven't heard from in months or even years will reach out. Some will come with genuine care, others with curiosity and a few with disguised intentions. You will know the difference instantly. Trust the immediate feeling in your spirit, that is Michael guiding you. Say yes to what aligns, no to what drains, and keep your energy guarded like treasure. Because it is treasure. And beloved, I must tell you this, there is one more hidden blessing that will arrive, in such a way you won't recognize it at first. It may look like a small opportunity, a casual invitation, or even a challenge. But inside it will be the seed of something that changes everything. When it comes, say yes, even if it scares you, especially if it scares you. That fear will be the sign that it is stretching you, into the size you were always meant to grow into. Now you stand at the threshold of this promise. You are not waiting for permission anymore. You are not hoping for worth, you already have it. The heaven that warned you is the same heaven that is now releasing you. The battles you have survived are proof, you are equipped for the victories ahead. And the voice that brought you this far, will not go silent after today. It will keep speaking, guiding, confirming, until the vision is complete. And when she says those words, beloved, a generational chain will snap so loudly in the spirit, that even the angels will pause in awe. Archangel Michael says, that moment is not far from now. Every tear you've cried, every sleepless night, every prayer that felt like it went unanswered, they were not wasted. They were seeds, and heaven has been watering them while you thought nothing was happening. This is why your heart has been so heavy lately, not because you are losing, but because the atmosphere around you is shifting. The enemy always sends the strongest storm right before the breakthrough. You have been walking through the wind, but now you will see the reason for it. Michael says, the next sign will come quietly, a phone call you didn't expect, a name mentioned in passing, a dream that feels more like a memory. Do not dismiss these as coincidences. Every one of them will be a piece of the puzzle, and when you place them together, you will see the map to your daughter's return. Beloved, heaven is not only working on her heart, it is rearranging the path before her. Doors she once walked through will suddenly close, people she once trusted will quietly step away, and situations that seemed unshakable will crumble overnight. Do not be alarmed, this is not destruction, it is divine demolition. God is removing what cannot walk into her future, so that when she steps into the light again, there is nothing left to pull her back into the shadows. Michael shows me a vision of you standing at a threshold, 1 foot in the old season, 1 foot in the new. Behind you is the weight of years of trying, pleading, hoping. Before you is a golden path that seems to glow even in darkness. You are hesitant, not because you don't want to move forward, but because you wonder if it's truly time. Michael says, step forward without fear. The moment you do, the chains that still cling to your daughter will weaken. Now about the letter, once you find it, there will be a temptation to confront her immediately. Michael urges you to pause. Read it, pray over it, and let the truth settle in your spirit first. The words in that letter were meant to wound, but in your hands they will heal. You will know exactly when to show it to her, and when you do, it will not just be a revelation, it will be a release. You must also prepare for resistance. Not from her spirit, but from the voices that have surrounded her. They will sense they are losing their grip, and they may try to pull her deeper into their influence. This is when your prayers must be sharper than your pain. Call her name in the spirit every morning, as if she's already free. Speak life into her future, as if it's already written, because in heaven it is. Michael says, your role now is not just to be her mother, it is to be her intercessor, her shield, her living proof that love endures all things. Even in silence you are speaking to her spirit. Even in absence you are holding her in the unseen. And beloved, do not forget yourself in this journey. The restoration God is sending is not just for her, but for you too. There are wounds you've carried quietly, stories you've never told, parts of yourself you've hidden, because life demanded you be strong. Heaven is bringing light to those hidden places, not to shame you, but to heal you. The more whole you become, the stronger the bridge she will have to cross back to you. I see a time coming soon, when you will sit at a table, not just any table, but one you prepared exactly as Michael told you. The candle will burn steady, the air will feel different, and without warning, you will hear her voice again, not in anger, not in confusion, but in peace. And in that moment, you will understand that every instruction, every prayer, every vision, was leading to this. Michael says, stay steady. The war is almost over. But understand this, when she comes back, she will not be the same girl who left. She will be wiser, stronger, and deeply aware of the love that never gave up on her. You will see in her eyes the reflection of your own resilience, and together you will rebuild not just your relationship, but your entire legacy. The enemy thought this was about breaking your family, but heaven knew it was about birthing a new one, stronger, deeper, untouchable by the lies that once threatened it. So now, beloved, hold this in your spirit: the final unlocking has already begun. The letter will be found, the truth will be revealed, the reunion will happen. And when it does, the same angels that stand with you now will surround that moment, sealing it so it can never be undone. Archangel Michael says, "Lift your head." You are not waiting for victory anymore, you are walking in it. And as you take your next step, know that heaven walks with you, every shadow fleeing, every chain falling, every breath carrying you closer to the day your daughter's voice will once again call you home in love. And then she will hug you the way she did when she was small, and she will come home this time carrying her heart in her hands, and in that moment you will feel whole again. But beloved, that is not the only thing returning to you. Your miracle, the one that was delayed because of the deal, is already circling back to you, faster than anyone expected. God delayed it, yes, but He never denied it. He was simply waiting for you to see the truth first, because He would not bless you in a broken system. He wanted you restored before the reward. And now heaven sees you are ready. Michael is already preparing your name for a breakthrough, in an area you thought was long finished. It could be a debt suddenly cleared, a door you thought was closed forever swinging open, or a gift you never imagined still had your name on it. And when you find it, you will not cry from pain, but from clarity. Because in that moment, all of it will finally make sense: the delays, the confusion, the walls between you and your daughter, all of it rooted in that untold truth. And once it's revealed, the healing will begin like a tidal wave, unstoppable and pure. Michael wants you to understand something deeper about your daughter. She is not weak, she is not broken, she has simply been surrounded by shadows that made her forget her own light. But you are the candle that still burns for her. Even if she turns away, even if she doubts you, even if her words are sharp or her distance feels like rejection, do not stop shining. Because her spirit is watching you, even when her lips remain silent. And soon she will remember exactly who you are. On that day, she will look at you with tear-filled eyes and say, "Mom, I saw the truth, I felt it before I heard it, and your love was louder than all their lies." And then again she will hug you as she did when she was small, and she will come home this time with her heart in her hands, and you will feel whole again. But still, beloved, that is not the only thing returning to you. Your miracle, the one held back, is now moving toward you, like an arrow that cannot miss its target. God delayed it to protect you, but the appointed time has come. It might be a debt cleared, forgiveness offered by someone you never thought you'd hear from, a home, a job, a divine financial door, or even a sudden healing, emotional or physical, that begins without warning. It will be fast, it will be loud, and it will be undeniable. But before it arrives, heaven asks for one last thing: your full surrender. Not the surrender of defeat, but the surrender of trust. The surrender that says, "God, take what is mine and use it for what is yours." Say it now softly, but with your whole heart: "I surrender my timeline to God, I surrender my daughter, I surrender control, and I choose divine flow over forced outcomes." Can you feel the weight lifting? That release, beloved, is the place where miracles are born. Now listen closely to this final whisper. Tonight after you read these words, Michael will come to you. You may not see him with your eyes, but you will feel him in your spirit. He may leave you a sign, a feather in an unexpected place, a flicker of light in the corner of your vision, a certain number repeating, or a sudden stillness that fills the air. When you sense him, you don't need perfect words. Simply whisper, "Thank you, I heard you, I'm ready." Then close your eyes and rest. Because for the first time in a long time, heaven is not just passing by, it is staying. If you are still here, type below, "I finished this and I believe my miracle is coming." Let the angels see your faith. And remember to stay close, because the next message will reveal something powerful, what your daughter's future soulmate is going through right now, and why heaven is asking you to pray for him, even before they meet. You are powerful, you are loved, you are protected. And this, beloved, is only the beginning. Amen.